I'm a big bad mean dog. Bark, bark.
Well, that being said, Otis does have a few bad habits that he needs to get rid of. Like, for one, he likes to sit around the house like this, which, honestly makes me uncomfortable. I don't know why. Maybe it's because his dick's touching the carpet. I mean, who the hell wants dog dick touching the carpet, for Christ's sake? Like I said, Otis is a big baby, but he still likes to pretend that he's mean and scary. But his ass is about as intimidating as a goddamn Teletubby. Well, I watched him bark in a basketball for like 20 minutes straight one time, and that basketball couldn't give two shits. Not to mention, Otis needs constant attention, or else he'll throw a fit like some kind of moody teenager.
Nobody rubbed my belly this morning, so I tore up this stuffed animal, and then I humped whatever was left of it.
But out of all of Otis's bad habits, I'd have to say that the most annoying one is when he brings in shit from the outside. I found this giant tree branch outside, and now it's my new best friend. And he brings in all sorts of crazy shit from outside. We're talking branches, rocks,
Neptunami.
Doesn't give a damn.
I don't know what the hell this thing is, but I love it, and it's my new best friend.
Well, imagine our surprise when one morning, Otis's ass comes inside the house, covered in blood, then he spits out a fucking bone on the living room floor. Ah, sick, what the hell?
Hey, I made another new best friend. It's this duck thing outside that I've been rolling around in.
So naturally I start freaking out, thinking there's a fucking dead body in our backyard. So I go outside and inspect the fucking crime scene, and lo and behold, there's a goddamn blood trail that leads to the bottom of our deck. So now I have to scurry my ass under there with a flashlight, looking like a fucking goonie searching for just a copper pot and shit. Thankfully, it wasn't a human corpse that I found. Instead, it was a, it was a fucking animal corpse of some sort. I don't know if it was a raccoon or a possum or a fucking ocelot. I don't know what the hell it was, but it was dead as hell, I can tell you that. So naturally, I fling the corpse out into the fucking woods with a shovel, and that's the end of the story. Or at least that's what I thought was the end of it. So a few days later, when Otis's ass waltzes back into the living room, covered in blood again.
Hi, everybody. I got a bunch of red on me.
Oh, no, not again. God damn it, Otis, stop desecrating animal corpses. But upon further inspection, we realize that he's not covered in the blood of a raccoon slash possum slash ocelot. It's Otis's own blood. Oh my God, Mama's little baby.
What's up?
Wait, what? That's Otis's blood? Yeah, I can't tell
What's
where
up,
it's
what's
coming
up?
from. He's got so much fur. There's too much fur. God
Make
damn
sure
it,
y'all
Otis,
subscribe.
let
We're
me
doing
get
the end of the
away from
Majin
the
Buu
dog.
saga.
So I run to the
Kid
bathroom,
Buu.
and instead of shaving the dog like some kind of psychopath, I grab a towel. And with that towel, I wrap Otis up like a fucking taquito, and I haul him out to the car so we can take him to the vet. Now, it's important to note, we still have no idea what the hell happened to Otis. Did some kid hit him with a fucking dirt bike? Was he attacked by a posse of coyotes? Maybe he was the victim of a cool prank at prom in a Stephen King novel. Who the hell knows? So now my wife's driving through the neighborhood like a fucking 6-year-old playing Grand Theft Auto. Meanwhile, I'm in the back seat looking like a goddamn Reservoir Dog scene. We finally get to the emergency vet, and at first we have no idea what the hell to even tell the receptionist. Yeah, we don't know if like our dog fell or if he got shot by a rifle, but he's bleeding all over the place. Okay, is that why you wrapped him up like a goddamn gordita? See, we should have shaved him. I fucking told you we should have shaved the dog. So they take Otis in the back to see what the hell's going on with him. Meanwhile, we sit down in the waiting room with all the other neglectful pet owners. Hey, what brings you guys in today? We don't really know exactly. Oh, that's cool. I'm here because I knocked a can of beer into my fish tank, and now my pet turtle's all fucked up. Oh, okay, well, I'm sorry to hear that. So like an hour and a half goes by, and all of a sudden Otis comes tap dancing out like nothing ever happened.
I got a boo-boo on my paw, but they made it all better. And I'm still a scary, scary boy. Bark, bark, bark.
Oh my God, is Mama's little baby okay? Oh yeah, he's all right. He just broke a nail on his left paw. Wait, what? All that blood and he just broke a goddamn nail? Yeah, sometimes they bleed quite a bit, but he's okay. Oh, and sir, your drunk-ass turtle's fine. He just needs to sleep it off.
Get your hands off me, lady. I'm not sleeping shit off. Come on, let's go to Taco Bell.
So all in all, let me summarize what the hell happened that day. First, we hauled a 120-pound Rottweiler burrito into the car. Then we committed 14 moving violations to get him to the vet. And finally, we paid that vet $600. Also, Otis could get a fucking manicure. But in the end, we were just happy that Otis was okay, and he was back to his non-intimidating self in no time. Granted, he was missing a front claw for a while, which his temperamental ass was very self-conscious about.
Are you guys looking at my missing claw? Stop it or else I'm gonna go rip up a roll of toilet paper and then hump whatever's left of it.
If you want true friends, you need to be a true friend. But what does that mean? Being a true friend isn't just about hanging out on the weekend.
Hey, do you want to drink Red Bull and play Battletech until it's physically impossible to keep our eyeballs open?
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
It's about helping your friends succeed and being there when they need you the most. True friendship is rare, but it's one of the greatest joys of life. So today, we give you 4 tips on how to be a true friend. Number
Alright, now I think it's safe to say that every decade has had their share of iconic toys. Like if you were a kid in the 1970s, you had like the Pet Rock and the old speak and spell that talks like the devil.
Hello, I am the devil. Spell the word murder.
Wait a minute, what?
I command you to kill the family dog.
And if you're a kid in the 1930s, all you had was like a hoop on a stick. Is this fun? I can't tell. I don't know. I haven't eaten in 3 days. Anything's fun at this point. But fortunately for me, I grew up in the 1990s, which I have to admit had some pretty cool toys. So for all you youngins out there that grew up playing Flappy Frog or whatever the fuck it was that you did on your iPad, I'm going to go through 3 iconic toys from the 90s, and I'm going to give them a letter grade that corresponds to how cool I thought they were. First up, Tamagotchis. Now, Tamagotchis took my 2nd grade classroom by storm back in the day. For those of you that are unaware, Tamagotchis were little digital pets that you'd take care of, and you'd feed, and if you were the weird kid in class, you'd probably fucking talk to it. You're my best friend in the whole world, Tamagotchi. I don't care if my dad says you're just a stupid keychain. They were a huge hit back then. Every kid had one. And why wouldn't you? I mean, who wants to clean shit from a big-ass dog when you could clean up fake shit from a fake-ass dog? It makes sense. It wasn't just dogs that they had to choose from. They had all sorts of animals. They had cats and turtles, goddamn water buffalo, you name it. For me personally, I didn't have a Tamagotchi, but I did have a generic off-brand one that I won from a gumball machine. And my little fake animal was a dinosaur, or at least that's what it said it was. And that generic shit just looked like a fucking blob with a face on it. But regardless, I took care of that little blob with a face on it for weeks. And over time, it grew a tail, and then some legs, and a fucking goatee and shit. It was growing up right in front of my stupid little face. That was until one weekend, I rented the game Star Fox 64 from Blockbuster, and well, I played that shit for like 40 hours straight, which meant that my fake-ass dinosaur was left neglected the entire time. Hey, I took a shit over here. Can you come wipe me now? Anybody? No? Okay then. And it didn't dawn on me until I showed up to school the following Monday, seeing all my classmates with their Tamagotchis. Dude, check it out, my water buffalo grew a mustache. What's your dinosaur look like now? What? Oh, shit. Whoopsie. Sure as hell I got home that day. My fucking Tamagotchi looked like a crime scene in an episode of Law & Order. It's face down, dead as hell, surrounded by piles of its own shit. And that was pretty much the end of it. So I guess we'll give Tamagotchis a B, and we'll give it an A+ for the emotional trauma that caused an entire generation of children. Next up, the BOUT. Now, the BOUT was a fun game. It was basically an electronic version of Simon Says. The game tells you what to do, and then you do. BOUT. Okay. And you just keep going until your stupid little fourth grader brain gets overloaded and you screw up. Game over. You lose. And the only problem that I had with the BOUT was, well, I don't really know how else to say this, but, well, the thing looked like a fucking sex toy, didn't it? I can't be the only one that thought that, right? Well, the first time my next door neighbor Michael got one, he didn't know what the hell to make of the thing. I don't get it. Do I play with this thing, or do I just shove it up my asshole? Whoa, what the hell? Where'd you kids get that thing? God damn it, what did I tell you about messing around in your mother's dresser drawer? Get over here, you're gonna get 10 across the ass. Regardless, I still think the BOUT was a cool toy, even if it had some sexual overtones. BOUT. Pull it. Suck it. Wait, what? Game over. You lose. So I'm going to go ahead and give the BOUT a B- as a toy and a B+ for a sex toy. All right, moving on. Last but not least, we got the Furby. Now, the Furby was basically a 3-dimensional version of the Tamagotchi, just a fucking stuffed animal that you're supposed to take care of. But Furbies had 2 main differences. 1, they were annoying as hell, and 2, they didn't fucking die. Now, these things were ugly as hell. I have no idea who the hell came up with the Furby, but I imagine it was some methed out guy in a board meeting like, all right, so what if we took like a Pokemon and then gave it Steve Buscemi's eyeballs, and then we make it fart? Would you buy that? Oh, well, hell yeah, I'd buy that. I think I'd buy several. Now, personally, I didn't want anything to do with the Furbies when I was a kid. I mean, for one, I just didn't understand why anybody would want one in the first place. The thing just farts and talks bullshit to itself. My Uncle Rick already does that. What the hell do I need a Furby for? And for 2, I thought they were creepy as hell. I mean, when they would talk in their own bullshit Furbish language all the time. Beep, bop, boop, boo. But eventually, they start to learn English, and then they just pepper it in here and there. Chick, chick, beep, boo, fucking chicken paprikash. What the hell did that thing just say, chicken paprikash? Oh my god, it's learning. Burn it. We have to burn it and bury the ashes. And the most horrific experience I ever had with a Furby was when I was staying over at my friend Tommy's house one night, and all of a sudden his Furby just starts yelling at us in the middle of the night. Party! Party! Whoop whoop! What the hell? Tommy, oh, shut your Furby up and trying to party with us. What, the thing we're in a fucking frat house, for Christ's sake? I looked look over, and Tommy's staring at this thing like it's a goddamn poltergeist, terrified as hell. Meanwhile, this goddamn thing keeps yelling party, party over and over again like it's on spring break in the Bahamas. So now I'm starting to freak out myself. I have to approach this Furby like a fucking hostage negotiator, because I don't know what the hell's going on with this thing. I don't know if it's broken or if it's possessed by a fucking speaking spell.
I am the devil. I command you to party with the Furby.
Tommy, quick, how do I turn this thing off?
I don't know, dude. Let's just ignore it and go back to sleep.
So since I can't find an off switch or take the batteries out without a screwdriver, I decide to shake the shit out of it and hope for the best. Of course, there's no such thing as shaken Furby syndrome, so we're back to square one. Party! Party! So now in a panic, I huck this goddamn thing into Tommy's closet, and for the rest of the night, we listen to this fucking Furby babble on and on and on.
Party, party, what? Check this copper off.
Now, what that Furby was doing in Tommy's closet, I have no idea. But I imagine it was partying all night long, doing shots of tequila with a G.I. Joe and a fucking Etch-a-Sketch. So I think it's safe to say that we're gonna have to give the old Furby a big fat F. Actually, let's give it 2 F's, and those can stand for fuck Furbies. How about that? The end.
Summer was intense. Consuming you is a fresh start. Taking the biggest swing of my life here.
It's my livelihood. My family.
Alright, like a lot of people out there, I've dabbled in the art of driving for Uber. By no means am I an expert Uber driver. After all, my Uber career was pretty short-lived. By short-lived, I mean I drove a whopping 3 customers before I quit. But if you're out there wondering what it's like to be an Uber driver, well, let me tell you about my experience. It's important to note that this was years ago, back when I was in the middle of what I like to call my quarter-life crisis. And that was when I was working a dead-end job at a car dealership, I was broke as hell, and I was just sucking ass at life in general. Oh, and not to mention I had the IRS on my ass for back taxes, so that was fun. So running out of options, as well as running out of shit to sell out of my house, I registered to become an Uber driver. Now this was when ride-sharing was still relatively new. To be honest, I didn't know much about it. Well, the first time I saw Lyft drivers with mustaches on the front of their cars, I was like, what the hell? We're putting fucking facial hair on Buicks now? God damn, I remember wood paneling on station wagons back in the day, but this shit's ridiculous. Now, needless to say, I was pretty hesitant to become a driver in the first place. I mean, is this Uber thing even legitimate? Am I gonna pick some random stranger up on the side of the road and then be robbed at knife point for the 47 cents in my center console? Stabbed in the pelvis with a shank, 1 out of 5 stars. Well, considering I was broke as hell, I didn't have much of a choice. Let's roll the dice, Uber. Let's see what you can do for me. Now, like I said, my Uber career was really, really short. 3 customers is all it took for me to quit. My first customer, or passenger, or fucking ride-along buddy, whatever you want to call him, was a businessman that was out of state. So I pull into the parking lot of the hotel that this guy's staying at, and I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. Does the guy sit in the back seat, or does he sit in the front seat? Do you let him fuck with the radio if he wants? Do you high-five him when he gets out of the car? What the fuck is this gonna be like? This is so weird. So this guy starts walking out, and he looks normal enough, I'd say. So I try to be polite and lean over and open the passenger door for him. All of a sudden, this guy looks at me like I'm some kind of fucking pervert, and I'm trying to have my way with him in the front seat and shit. Oh, alright, well that answers the first question. Everybody sits in the back seat. Unless you're a pervert, you're up front. So we start cruising along in silence, and the silence is pretty palpable at this point because, well, there's a grown man in my car that thinks I just actively tried to seduce him in the front seat. So I figure, how about a little bit of small talk to ease the tension in the car? So are you from out of town? Yeah, that's why I'm staying in a fucking hotel after all. Oh, okay, well, I'll go fuck myself. How about that? Okay, and we're over 2. But believe it or not, the guy didn't write me off completely. Hey, so what's a good place to eat around here? A good place to eat? Dude, I don't know. I eat fucking Del Taco 5 times out of the week. The hell am I, a fucking tour guide for the shitty city I live in? You ever been to the Applebee's? Their wonton tacos are pretty good. Needless to say, we didn't talk much after that. That's what happens when you offer up Applebee's as a viable place to eat. Guys in the back seat probably question my mental capacity. Fucking app. Applebee's, is this guy serious? Hey, why don't you just keep your attention on the road and try not to hurt yourself? Finally, we pull up to this guy's destination. He gets out of the car. We do not high-five whatsoever. But he does give me a $5 tip. Now, granted, I think he just felt bad because he thought I had some kind of condition of some sort. Do you have some kind of donation jar in there like they have at gas stations, or do I just give the money to you? But I don't care. $5 tip plus $15 for the ride, that's 20 bucks I made. I mean, that's 20 bucks the IRS made, but at least I got to touch it for a little while. Now, my second rider happened shortly after my first, and to be honest, nothing really happened. We just sat there and talked about how shitty of a show Full House was back in the day. Yeah, fucking Full House sucked ass, didn't it? And Dave Coulier was fucking weird. Yeah, I concur. And fuck the Olsen twins while we're at it. Again, there was no high five, but I did make 12 bucks, and I got a $2 tip on top. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, well, what the hell? You're driving around, making money, talking shit about Full House? Being an Uber driver sounds great. Well, sit your ass down. You haven't even heard about my third customer. Now, at this point, it's like midnight, and I'm tired as hell. And I'm still active on Uber because, well, last time I checked, I'm still broke as hell. So I'm half awake, and I get a goddamn notification on my phone of a new rider. And of course, it's on the shittiest side of town that nobody wants to go to. I gotta sit there and have a conversation with myself. Do I really want to get up right now? Do I really want to go to the fucking hood? You bet your silly ass you do. Now get in your Ford Taurus and go make daddy some money. So I get in my car and off I go to the fucking armpit of the city. And I pull up to this guy who's standing on the sidewalk with a book bag. And needless to say, he looks like he's a few French fries from a fucking Happy Meal. Oh boy, well this doesn't look too promising, now does it? So this guy gets in the car, and I have to say that this guy reeks. Now, I don't know what methamphetamine smells like. It wasn't exactly a scratch and sniff sticker when I was a kid, but if I had to guess, it would be this guy 100%. And at this point, I'm like, whatever. Methamphetamine, schmethamphetamine. Let's just drive this guy wherever he wants to go. Let's not think about whatever this guy's all hopped up on, or how many barbiturates are in his book bag. Let's just take this guy wherever he needs to go. So again, I try to have some casual conversation to break up any tension. Hey, you see over there by that liquor store and that dead hooker in the street? Yeah, there used to be a Denny's right there. Yeah, it's good. Denny's is good. But this guy could give a fuck about that. In fact, he could give a fuck about anything because all he's doing is sitting there muttering to himself like a psychopath. So now I start freaking out because clearly this guy's unstable. It's only a matter of time before he whips out a knife from that book bag and I'm negative 47 cents. I start thinking, all right, you need to strategize here. Maybe you should, start doing some weird shit yourself. Give the guy a taste of his own medicine. All right, no, I'm not gonna do that. That's stupid as hell. Maybe instead I could, intimidate him somehow, you know? Hey, just a warning, buddy. I keep a fucking flamethrower in the trunk of my car, so no funny business. But I'm not gonna be able to intimidate this guy. He's whacked out of his mind. Not to mention fucking drops at Jupiter playing on the radio right now. That she's back in the atmosphere. Drops Jupiter in her hair. Yeah, I'm not intimidating jack shit, that's for sure. I might as well be fucking Pippi Longstockings in the driver's seat, for Christ's sake. Now, thankfully, this guy didn't request a very long trip. It was just a couple of blocks. He easily could have walked it, which I'm surprised he didn't, because I thought meth heads had a lot of pep. Apparently not this guy. So we reach his final destination, a pawn shop next to a active crime scene, or whatever the fuck it was. And this guy opens the door, but he doesn't get out at first. Instead, he starts rummaging through his book bags. That's when I start thinking, yep, I knew it. I'm about to get shanked for pocket change. God damn it. Meanwhile, drops of Jupiter's blaring out into the streets and shit. Na, 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 na. And this guy keeps searching for whatever it is he's looking for. Finally, he finds it. And you wouldn't believe it if I told you. This guy pulls out of his book bag a fucking thing of Tic Tacs. Oh, thank Jesus, holy hell. It's a bit anticlimactic, I know. You guys can kiss my ass. I was happy not to get shanked by a shank. So the dude gets out of my car, and right before I peel out of there like Smokey the Bandit, I look at my phone to see how much money I made, and it was a whole $5.50. Oh, what the hell? That was an accessory to a third-degree felony for a whopping $5.50? My car smells like a fucking burning bucket of army guys, for Christ's sake. You could at least give me a tip. Your tip is you got to keep your life, you little baby-back bitch. So needless to say, I retired from the Uber life after that, and decided that making shitty cartoons for the internet was a slightly safer way to make money. So the lesson here is, if you're gonna drive for Uber, make sure you have some fucking Tic Tacs. Because meth heads can be pretty scary, but they still care about having fresh breath. The end.
Come on, Kakarot. Use the spirit bomb.
What comes to mind when you think of France? Most likely the Eiffel Tower, that iron tower, which, for more than a century, has watched over the French capital. Behind this iron...
Alright, you ever think back to when you were a kid about some of the screwed up or embarrassing things that you took part in? You know what I'm talking about? Maybe you're the kid that peed your pants in the second grade during spelling test, or maybe you drop-kicked your best friend off a trampoline and broke his pelvis. Whatever it is, I think it's safe to say that we all have some deep-seated childhood regrets that we all carry around with us. Like, for example, one time when I was a kid, me and my sister decided to order a pizza. The only problem with that was, it was the middle of winter, it was like a goddamn stage 3 blizzard outside. Now, what kind of asshole makes somebody deliver pizza in this hellish nightmare? Just fucking rappers outside and shit? Who does such a thing? Well, 9-year-old me and my older sister, that's who. So after like 2 hours of us ordering the pizza, our doorbell goes off, and like a piece of shit, my sister sends me out to face the poor bastard to get our pizza. So I open the door, and of course, the delivery guy's this old dude all hunched over, freezing his ass off.
Oh, hi there, Sonny. Sorry I took so long. I almost slid into oncoming traffic getting here, and I have arthritis in both of my ankles, so I can't move so fast.
Holy hell, what a complete perfect asshole I felt like taking this guy's pizza. And make matters worse, all my sister gave me to tip this guy was some crumpled up, crusty ass dollar bill that looked like somebody blew their nose into it. So I handed it over to the guy, and all of a sudden, a fucking gust of wind rips it right out of my hand, and the thing goes tumbling off into the abyss, never to be seen again. So now this feeble old man's just staring at me, arthritic ankles and all. What the hell am I supposed to do in this situation? Well, what I should have done was got old man River out of the elements there, served him some hot cocoa, and made him my honorary grandpa. But instead, I just fucking shut the door in his face. I was like 8 years old, alright? I don't know what the hell to do in a situation like that.
Oh, okay, have a good day then. I guess I'll die now.
And that was it. I sat down and ate some pizza, and I never told anybody about that experience ever in my life. So now as a grown-ass man, 20 years later, I'll be laying in bed at night, and I'll just randomly start thinking of that old guy freezing his ass off. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun one to explain when I'm standing outside the pearly gates and shit. It says here that when you were 9, you attempted to murder an old man for a Little Caesars one topping. Do you have anything to say for yourself? Yeah, I'm gonna have to plead the fifth on that one, Pete. You see, that's the kind of shit that I'm talking about. Childhood regrets that you'll never live down. Now, another childhood regret of mine was when I was over at my friend Zachary's house that lived across the street. And Zachary was a weird-ass kid. But we'd always put up with him because he always had the coolest toys growing up. I mean, he had the Talk Boy from Home Alone, he had Furbies coming out the ass, he had the fucking robot from Rocky IV. The kid had it all, what can I say? But the thing that we were most envious of was his gigantic Pokemon card collection. This was back in the 90s, when kids valued Pokemon cards more than life itself. Michael, if you ever touch my holographic Charizard, I'll find and murder your entire bloodline. Do you understand me? But Zachary didn't care about his Pokemon cards at all. They're all spread out in his room, all willy-nilly. They're all ripped and bent up and shit. His ass would practically tap dance all over. He had so many of them, he didn't care. And that shit made us sick to our stomachs. I mean, it would be one thing if these were just energy and trainer cards we're talking about, but the kid had a holographic Zapdos on the middle of his floor, for Christ's sake. To us, it was like fucking animal abuse for fake animals. Somebody should have called the Fake Humane Society on his ass. So after seeing Zachary's blatant disrespect towards his holographic Zapdos, what the hell did I decide to do? Well, what I should have done was take Zachary aside and be like, dude, I seen a kid beat another kid over the head with a pogo stick for a fucking holographic Zapdos. Get your shit together and take care of your Pokemon cards. But instead, I fucking pocketed that holographic Zapdos. Yeah, that's right, I stole it. I'm not proud of it, but with my broken 9-year-old logic, I wasn't stealing it so much as I was rescuing it from a life of cruelty. So now after all these years later, I'm still filled with regret because I stole this kid's shiny fucking piece of cardboard. But what the hell am I supposed to do? Track down Zachary's goofy ass and be like, hey, I know we're both grown-ass men now, but that's a Pokemon card that I stole from you back when Bill Clinton was in office. All right then, see you later. Oh, and by the way, you're a cartoon on the internet, and I didn't bother to change your real name. Sorry about that. So if you're watching this, Zach, I just want to say sorry about the petty theft, and if you want your Zapdos back, well, I still have it, because I take care of my goddamn Pokemon card. Alright, let's do one more memory about me being a piece of shit, and we'll be done with it. Now this time, we're in my next door neighbor Michael's front yard. We're doing what most dirty little kids were doing in the 90s. We're playing WWF front yard wrestling, that's what we're doing. And this particular matchup was between my friends David and Michael. David, of course, was Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Michael, on the other hand, was Bill Goldberg. Of course, we told Michael that he couldn't be a WCW character, but naturally, Michael didn't give a fuck. So there they are, fighting to the death in Michael's front yard. I'm playing the role of referee in this shitty wrestling match. And to call it wrestling to begin with was a stretch of the imagination. And you got David over there, like, ripping the hair out of Michael's scalp and shit. I'm just standing there like, okay, I'll allow it. That's a completely legitimate wrestling move. Well, things start getting a little dicey when these two idiots start getting a little too close to the sidewalk. Now, what I should have done in this situation would have been like, hey, you idiots, get back over here. Somebody's about to crack their head on the sidewalk. But what I did instead was not say a goddamn thing. I mean, there's a styrofoam championship belt on the line, for Christ's sake. I can't interrupt the match now. Well, imagine my surprise when David pulls off a haphazard German suplex and he cracks Michael's head on the sidewalk. And I gotta say, it was loud. Felt like a fucking 30-06 going off the neighborhood. At the time, I thought Michael's brain just exploded on impact. I was almost positive people on the street were calling the cops like, yeah, hello, police, get the paddy wagon. I just watched a kid in a Scottie Pippen jersey get murdered in cold blood. Thankfully, to our surprise, Michael sits up, and, well, he's looking a little disheveled, to say the least. Michael, are you all right?
Finally home.
So now, what did me and David decide to do? Well, what we should have done was run inside and get Michael's drunk-ass stepdad and be like, hey, Mr. Michael's stepdad, we were being deeply irresponsible, and I think we might have just scrambled Michael's brains into oblivion. But instead of doing that, we just took off running down the road and left Michael to die by the street. I know, it was a shitty thing to do, but again, we were like 9 years old, and we didn't want to get in trouble. Hell, we even went back and grabbed the styrofoam belt before Michael's stepdad came outside flipping out. Wow, what the hell's going on out here? Michael, fix that stupid look on your face and get your ass inside.
Not Vegeta calling Goku.
All right Goku. That whole event. I mean, he probably had a mild concussion at least, but, well, it was the 90s, so it was no big deal. What do you mean your head's fuzzy and you can't remember how to tie your shoes? Oh, rub some dirt in it and stop being a wuss. So, Michael, if you're watching this, I'd like to apologize on behalf of me and David. We shouldn't have left you there on the side of the street. But at the same time, I'm going to stand by my call. It was a technical knockout, and David's still the champion. So I guess you can suck it. The end.
There is nobody in the room who's a better gift giver than me. But you know, there's no gatekeeping around here. I'm telling you right now.
Alright, now everybody knows that, well, working for a living blows. And it especially blows when you have a bad day at work. Now, what do I know about bad days at work? After all, I'm a full-time YouTuber, for Christ's sake. A bad day of work for me consists of, like, me not being able to say the word alright with the correct inflection. Alright. No, that's not right. Alright? No, that's not it either. Alright. I've worked real jobs before. Well, my first job was being a cook at a pizza place. You really think that was a rootin' tootin' time? Sweating your ass off, making stuffed crust pizzas for drunk people all night long? Yeah, I think I had my fair share of bad days at work, to say the least. But the absolute worst work day that I had was ironically on my day off. It wasn't just any day off, it was a Friday of all days. And Fridays are the busiest days of the week for pizza places because Fridays produce the most drunk people out of any day of the week. So I was pretty happy to have that day off. But there was a slight catch. The day before, my boss was like, hey, I know it's your day off tomorrow and it's Friday, but we're running a new promotion, and if we get too busy, I'm going to have to call you and you're going to have to come in. Well, look at me. The person to call if there's a pizza emergency. That's right, I'm going to be on call, like I'm a fucking emergency room doctor. What's that? Somebody needs an emergency baboon heart transplant? I'm on my way. What's that? Somebody ordered a fuck ton of pepperoni pizzones? I'm on my way. So I'm out enjoying my Friday nights at the fucking Wendy's because I'm broke as hell. And of course it doesn't take long before I get that phone call. Yeah, hey, it's me, your pizza boss. Everybody and their dad decided to call off today, and I'm gonna need you to come in because it's the goddamn pizza apocalypse. Now this Wendy's that I was at just so happened to be across the street from the pizza place. So like the world's shittiest superhero, I run out of Wendy's like the fucking building's on fire. I didn't bother to grab my bike that's chained up. I just run across the street like a psychopath. I burst onto the scene like Darkwing Duck. My boss is like, oh, thank God you're you're here, this new promo is really slamming our dicks in a car door. So I get in the kitchen, and the only cook that's there besides me is this kid named Debbie. That's not his real name, of course. I just call him Debbie because he makes pizzas like a slut, and Debbie is the sluttiest name I could think of. So there we are, me and Debbie, the Laverne and Shirley of pizza making. I don't even put on an apron. I'm in street clothes and shit. People at the register are looking in the back like, what the hell? Did they just pull a dragnet off the street to start making pizzas? It doesn't matter because it's absolute pandemonium at this pizza place. I don't know what the hell kind of deal we were running back then, but it was like, buy a medium one topping and get a fucking bag of methamphetamine for free. Something like that. I don't know. You got the phones ringing off the hook, the ticket machine spewing out orders like it's possessed by the devil. And it's so damn hot in this kitchen that it feels like you're fucking working next to the mean-ass son from Mario 3 and shit. Meanwhile, our boss is nowhere to be found because he's too busy fucking texting people in the bathroom. You got Debbie's ass freaking out trying to man the ovens. He's got a look of sheer panic on his face. Not to mention dumbass orders are coming in left and right from the counter.
Do you guys think you could stuff the crust with a hot dog instead of cheese?
I need a pizza that's topped with, you guys have pickles? I'll take pickles and, I don't know, how about a bag of Monopoly cookies?
Yeah, can you guys spell out, sorry I beat up your mom's new boyfriend with the pepperonis?
Well, with all these orders coming in, it doesn't take Debbie very long to start to screw up. All of a sudden, pizza starts falling off the oven all willy-nilly. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh God, there's so much pizza. So now I start doing the job of 3 people, while Debbie sits on a fucking stool because he's more harm than good at this point. I'm making all the pizzas, I'm taking them out of the ovens. Hell, I'm even taking orders over the phone when I have to. You want a pizza with just mushrooms on it? What kind of sick pervert only wants just mushrooms? And this shit goes on for hours and hours. I have no idea how many orders we did that day. But I can tell you that fucking pizza place should have erected a 12-foot statue of my ass out front for the endeavors that I went through. Well, things don't finally start to die down until it's damn near closing time. And before we can go home, we gotta scrub the whole kitchen down and make it all sparkly clean. Well, of course, as soon as we get done scrubbing the shit out of everything, our boss comes in like, hey, some lady just called and she said you burnt the shit out of her pizza. Can you remake it real quick? So now we gotta re-dirty the goddamn kitchen for one stupid-ass pizza, which I think is bullshit to begin with, because I don't burn pizza. Hell, I make the prettiest pizzas this side of the Mississippi. Whoever this lady is a bullshitter, and she's trying to get a free pizza. Well, imagine my surprise when my boss walks in again, and he's like, hey, that same lady just called. She said it was supposed to be a pepperoni pizza. You put a bunch of nasty mushrooms on it instead. I'm like, wait a goddamn minute. I remember that lady. I took her order. I distinctly remember her ordering just mushrooms, because again, what kind of fucking pervert orders just mushrooms? Yeah, Mr. Pizza Boss, with all due respect, that lady is a fucking lion scorpion woman. Well, can you just remake it? I want to get out of here. If you need me, I'll be in the bathroom. There we go, making this lady's 3rd pizza, 2 minutes to close. And I'm not gonna lie, I was tempted to lick every single one of those goddamn pepperonis like a fucking postage stamp. Relax, I didn't do it. I've never messed with somebody's food, no matter how badly they deserve it. So we get this lady's pizza done, and finally we get a chance to close up. Me and Debbie are sitting outside, looking like we just fucking stormed the beaches of Normandy. All of a sudden, out in the parking lot, we see a guy in a bike pull up, and then another guy in a pickup truck pulls up right behind him. And it's pretty dark out, so it's hard to make out what's going on or who's out there. But we see these 2 guys load up the bike in the back, and then they take off. Huh, well that was weird. I wonder what that was all about. Well, it wasn't until I went back to Wendy's to pick up my 10-speed that I found out that I didn't have a fucking 10-speed anymore. And at first it didn't even register what the hell happened. I was standing there for like 15 seconds like...
Let's have a rematch right now.
Oh, god damn it! I just watched my own bike get stolen. So after that, I walked the fuck home, and that's the conclusion of my worst work day ever. Actually, it doesn't quite end there. Remember the mushroom/pepperoni pizza lady that lied her ass off? Well, before I left work, I took her order ticket because it had her phone number on it, and when I got home late at night, I called her on the old telephone.
Hello? Hello? Is anybody there?
Why would you lie to me?
What? Who is this?
You lied. I know you lied. Just know that I may or may not have licked all the pepperonis.
Can take a break every now and then, that is.
Yeah, Super Gucci doing a lot now.
This time, we found the answer. When creativity and AI merge,
Alright, I don't know how else to say this, but I'm getting getting real sick and tired of dealing with wild animals just making their way into my house any way they please. It seems like every couple of months or so, something sneaks its way inside, and now it's my job to chase it back outside with a coat hanger. I'm sick of it. And for those of you that aren't new to the channel, you might remember my cartoon about when we had a bat in the house. Well, guess what happened? That's right, we're talking Bat in the House Part 2, Bat with a Vengeance. Alright, so let's set the scene of this little incident. I'm in my basement, and I'm attempting to work out because, well, I'm trying to maintain my girlish figure. You know, sitting around making stick figure cartoons isn't exactly physically demanding, so I'm doing the best I can. Well, imagine my surprise when I notice that there's a bunch of tiny little turds on the carpet. And that's when I think, well, that's weird. I don't remember starting a tiny little turd collection in the basement. How did these get here? And that's when I look up and see a dirty-ass little bat all upside down doing bat shit. Now, my first reaction was to yell, "Oh, piss! It's back again!" Because my dumb ass just automatically assumed that it was the same fucking bat from the last episode. And you know, he's back with a vengeance. So now this is an official ordeal that I have to deal with, and I'm pretty pissed off about it. What the hell do I gotta do at this point? Get a goddamn restraining order against this thing? What the hell? And then I think, you know what? To hell with this bat. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm not gonna let some dirty little bat dictate my lifestyle with your bullshit face and your weird leather wings. I'm finishing my goddamn workout. So there I am in my basement lifting weights, all paranoid as hell, watching this bat out of the corner of my eye, just waiting for it to fly into my face and give me typhus or whatever the hell bats do. You can say what you want, but bats are fucking terrifying. I don't know what the exact statistics are. There's like a 3% chance that this thing could be Dracula in bat form. I just don't have time to be dealing with that shit. Are you serious? So I finished my workout like the big man that I am, and now I choose to deal with the bat on my time. And this is where I decide to document the event with my iPhone, like some kind of shitty Steve Irwin, if you will. Now the good news is that we have a walkout basement, so if I'm able to, I can shoo the damn thing out the sliding glass door, and it can go back to the 7th layer of hell where it came from. I just need a weapon of some sort to protect myself. But what weapon should I use? At first I think, I know, a 30-06. That's perfectly suitable for this situation. I need a rifle. But then I'm like, no, that's a bit extreme. I'm not storming the beaches of Normandy. This thing's the size of a fucking hamster, for Christ's sake. So then I have a flashback to a few months ago where I was sitting on the couch drunk, shopping on Amazon like an idiot, and I decided to buy a full-size airsoft Tommy gun. Oh yeah, that seems suitable for a 31-year-old man. Let's buy it. Well, in retrospect, that doesn't seem like such a stupid-ass purchase now. So here I am, approaching this bat like I'm fucking SEAL Team 6, trying to threaten it with an automatic weapon. Clearly you can see that the bat doesn't give two shits about me, or my plastic submachine gun. Well, goddamn it, alright, time for plan B. Enter the 12-foot pool net, aka the Bat Capturer 9000. So here we are, take 2. Notice I still have the Tommy gun in one hand, just in case this thing morphs into fucking Nosferatu or some shit. Now, if you notice, the bat clearly doesn't want to go into the net. It just keeps, like, clicking at me like a broken garage door opener.
Clicking at me.
Now, I don't speak bat, but I imagine it's saying something along the lines of, "Hey, stop it, you dick! I got squatters' rights! We'll get a fucking eviction notice!" Well, god damn it, how am I gonna coax this bat into this net? I'm running out of options here. I'm thinking back to all those shitty zoo books I read as a kid, trying to figure out what bats like. I start turning the lights off, thinking that might help. So after like 15 minutes and like a half a dozen different methods, I finally get this goddamn thing into the net. And, well, it's a little nerve-wracking to say the least.
Oh god. Oh god.
Goddamn vampire bat, what can I say? It's scary. So I run out to my backyard and try to catapult this thing back into the abyss, but now I have a new problem. Now the bat won't leave the goddamn pool net. So now I'm swinging this 12-foot pool net around my backyard like a lunatic. My next door neighbor's probably watching through the windows like, is this guy trying to catch butterflies, or is he just on methamphetamine? Yeah, probably both, I guess, I don't know. Now, I did manage to record this part of the story as well, but I accidentally filmed the whole thing in the slow-mo setting on my iPhone, which means that the footage looks a lot more epic than it should. The thing looks like a fucking ending to a Disney movie, for Christ's sake. So without further ado, here's the conclusion of this shitty little story. It does have a happy ending. I hope you enjoy it. No, not really. Perfect, let's go!
It seems the elder was right. The tower hearing the fix of stronger than those of you got me.
Big day, everybody. That's the spirit. We're having lots of fun.
What's going on?
Oh, the Homes.com network just hit 100 million visitors.
Yeah, we get that every month.
Party every month, everybody! I don't know how to change. This song on Homes.com, the place to find a place.
So we pull this old-ass paddle boat out onto the shore, and right before we get on the water, my grandpa's like, hey, Sean, be careful with that paddle boat. There's a loose bearing on there somewhere, and we're having some problems with it. And my Uncle Sean said, nothing, because he didn't care. So off we go out on the pond with this rickety-ass paddle boat. I have to say I'm a little apprehensive for two reasons. For one, I'm about as good a swimmer as a fucking late-stage FDR, which is not a good trait to have. And for two, I'm not the biggest fan of deep, creepy-ass water to begin with. Who the hell knows what kind of fucking Freddy Krueger shit's down there waiting for you? Well, imagine my surprise when we're out there and I look down at my feet and I notice that there's a little bit of water pooling around our ankles. Now, I'm no boat enthusiast, but I'm fairly certain that the water is supposed to be on the outside of the goddamn boat. And then I think, you know what, it's probably alright. I'm with my uncle, you know? He's an adult, he's responsible. But then I look over, and all of a sudden his ass is drunker than fucking 10 stepdads put together. You see, apparently back on shore, my Uncle Sean made himself a little cocktail of vodka and lemonade, and I think it was safe to say that the ratio that he used was a little lopsided. First you take the fifth of Smirnoff, then you waft an unpeeled lemon around the rim. Ta-da! Uncle Sean's lemonade. So now I'm starting to panic. I'm slowly starting to realize that this is going to be an ordeal now. Hey, maybe we should turn around and go back. Oh, the hell is that? There's nothing to worry about. I know this lake like my own asshole. When was the last time you even seen your own asshole? What? Look, we're not turning around until I finish this vodka, or my lemonade. Let's keep on going. So we keep going, and of course the water level keeps on rising. I'm sitting there hoping my Uncle Sean hurries up and drinks his goddamn drink. Every time I look over, the fucking drink looks bigger and bigger. Well, by the time we get to the middle of the pond, the whole front end of the paddle boat's basically level with the plane of the water. I'm like waist deep in this shit. We're more water than we are boat at this point. My Uncle Sean's over there totally oblivious, still trying to make casual conversation and shit. So, you like taking spelling tests at school? I'm up to my asshole in pond water right now. You're what? Oh, where the hell did all this water come from? Okay, yeah, we should probably turn back now. So now we start pedaling our asses off like we're on the last leg of the Tour de France. And of course it doesn't take long before my 11-year-old ass is completely exhausted and can't even pedal anymore. You need to pedal faster. My calf muscles are underdeveloped, goddammit, I can't pedal anymore. So since my Uncle Sean's the only one pedaling at this point, we're just doing circles in this godforsaken pond, and we're still a good distance from the shoreline, which is terrible news because now the water's up my fucking neck, and I'm starting to make my peace with God. God, please, if you get me out of this, I'll give you all my Pokemon cards, including my holographic Charizard. Well, not my holographic Charizard, that's ridiculous. But all the rest of them. Meanwhile, everybody back on land's totally oblivious to what the hell's happening on the waterfront. Hey, wasn't there a dirty little kid roaming around here at some point? Oh, I don't know. Who the fuck cares? So finally, I just made up my mind to bail. It's every man for himself at this point. I'm swimming my ass off for the shoreline, trying not to think of the fucking Fred Krueger fish underneath me. I go and look back behind me, and the paddle boat's at a fucking 90-degree angle at this point, looking like the goddamn Titanic. My Uncle Sean pulls out a fucking violin and fucking plays it somehow without spilling his drink. So I swim my little FDR ass as far as I can, which is about 20 feet before I give up, and I'm like, alright, guess I'll die now. And just when I thought all hope was lost, I realized that I could fucking stand up in the water this entire time. Oh my god, I'm gonna make it! God, that Pokemon deal is off the table. So in the end, both me and my Uncle Sean had to drag this shithole paddle boat that tried to murder us back on the shore. And that's when my Uncle Sean turns to me and was like, hey, maybe don't tell anybody about this little mishap that we had out there. And you know what? That's exactly what I did. I kept it a big old secret. So much of a secret that apparently it turned into a fucking repressed memory. Yeah, I was wondering why you didn't make that into a cartoon. Hell, I was worried that I traumatized the shit out of you. So the whole moral of the story is, 1, to hell with ponds and their fucking Freddy Krueger fish. 2, fuck paddle boats, they are the worst form of transportation known to man. And 3, don't have your drunk-ass uncle be your captain. Well, that was a blast. What do you want to do next? You want to go on the jet ski? All right, let me go make another drink real quick and we'll hop on the jet ski. Alright, so, well, I don't really know how to say it, so I'm just gonna say it. I went to a Backstreet Boys concert. Now, let me just go ahead and say that this clearly wasn't my idea. After all, I'm more of an NSYNC man myself. Now, this all started when me and my wife were sitting on the couch one day, and she found out that indeed, the Backstreet Boys were coming to town. And holy hell, her reaction when she found out, I thought a goddamn family member died. Oh my God. What happened? Is it Aunt Carol? Is Aunt Carol okay? And at first her ass couldn't even talk right to get it out. What is it, baboon? Was Aunt Carol murdered by a baboon? What the hell? No! Backstreet's back! All right.
Nice. You're goddamn right, all right. I don't give a shit. We are going. I've been wanting to see them in concert since Tamagotchis were popular.
So of course we put our house up for a second mortgage so we can buy these goddamn Backstreet Boy tickets. And having never been to a Backstreet Boys concert before, I had a few questions. Like for one, are the Backstreet Boys gonna have an opening act? Is there gonna be like a fucking bloated Lou Bega waltzing on stage like, hey, everybody remember me? I did that one song called, what is it? Mambo number 6? And for two, what the hell am I, a grown-ass 31-year-old man, gonna wear to this goddamn thing? I'm not gonna wear a Backstreet Boys t-shirt after all. It's an unwritten rule. You're not supposed to wear the t-shirt of the band that you're going to see. It's redundant. It's stupid. Well, since, like I said, I'm more of an NSYNC man myself, I figured that would be my best bet. But since every NSYNC t-shirt I found online was made for prepubescent girls, I had to make my own goddamn t-shirt. So I picked my favorite NSYNC band member, Joey Fat One, and I go on the Google, and I type in his name. Sure as hell, I take the first picture that I see, and presto, I got myself an NSYNC t-shirt for the concert. Sure, it's not the most flattering picture of Joey Fat One, looking like he's managing a fucking Red Robin these days, but what the hell, we all can't be perfect. So off we go to the Backstreet Boys concert, and unfortunately, we missed the bloated Lou Bega opener because apparently everybody in the fucking town had to go see the goddamn Backstreet Boys. The line is long as hell. I got people staring at my shirt like, who the hell is that? What do you mean? It's Joey fucking Fat One. Have some goddamn respect. So finally we make it to our seats, just in time for the Backstreet Boys. And let me tell you, when these motherfuckers hit the stage, it was sheer pandemonium. There's brawls getting thrown on stage. Pregnant chicks are going into labor and shit. Ouch, my baby. Then you got a bunch of husbands and boyfriends standing there, not knowing how to feel about themselves. Football and beer. Football and beer. I'm still masculine. Meanwhile, my wife's over there completely catatonic, looking like she just saw Jesus in a fucking fever dream. I'm over there like, boy, I sure wish I drank like 12 more beers before this. So throughout the concert, I'm asking my wife which Backstreet Boy's which, like they're fucking Pokemon. Ooh, which one's that one? What does he do? What? That's Kevin, you stupid ass. How do you not know who Kevin is? So by the end of the concert, I knew who all the Backstreet Boys were. There's Kevin, who looks like he's a part-time lion tamer and full-time sorcerer. Brian, who is 47 years old, but he has the face of a fucking Polly Pocket. AJ, who looks like a dude you buy fucking Adderall from. The brother of Aaron Carter. And then there's Howie, which I found out is my favorite Backstreet Boy. Because to me, Howie just seems like he just does it for a living. Like if you met him at a bar somewhere, he'd be all nonchalant about it. Like, what's that? Oh, yes, indeed, I am a Backstreet Boy. But I also sell insurance, which is my life's true passion. I swear, like, halfway through the concert, we made eye contact, and he was like, hey, you in the Joey Fat One t-shirt. You know, I could sure save you a lot of money if we bundled your home and auto insurance. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I was hearing stuff. Howie, if you're out there, give me a call. We'll work out a deal. Now, I gotta say, as the concert went on, I was pretty goddamn impressed with the Backstreet Boys. I mean, there they are. 3 out of the 5 guys are probably grandparents at this point, but they're still dancing their ass off like fucking Y2K's right around the corner, and it's the last day on Earth. And they are sweating their asses off. They're sweating so hard that every 3 songs or so, they gotta go and change wardrobe. Which leads me to the most awkward part of the entire concert, when 3 of the guys go backstage to change their clothes that they sweated through, but AJ and Aaron Carter's brother stayed out on stage, where they wheeled out tiny little boxes for them to change inside, right in front of everybody on stage. You got fucking AJ's ass pulling his boxers out. There's a big-ass fucking bleach stain on him, which was deeply unsettling for me. All the guys out there are completely uncomfortable with this whole scenario. Football and beer. Football and beer! Well, imagine our surprise when he fucking flings it into the audience, and some 50-year-old dude, somebody's dad, catches it with one hand. Oh, I don't think those were intended for that guy. Yeah, I don't think so either. This dude looks around for a second, and then without saying a goddamn thing, he pocketed those bad boys. That guy has plans for those, I can tell you that. Yeah, what a fucking pervert. So finally, the Backstreet Boys played their last song of the night, Larger Than Life, and here we are, drunk, having the fucking time of our life. And at the end of it all, I think it's safe to say